Hey you guys, this video is specifically about completing Time Portal, so getting the full 400 points from Time Portal. And so this is obviously difficult. It's going to take a very strong set of sylphs. In particular, it's just going to require a very strong Odin. Maybe it is possible with a Thor and an enormous amount of luck, but actually I find Frigga to just be a little bit too slow. I think you'd have to set up your Frigga with a lot more offensive skills than my Frigga has. So anyway, we're not going to try that. I have reset here. I did pay the 4,000 Balins. Usually I would not endorse this purchase, but at least for the moment, we have the rave event going on right now, and I wasn't really interested in purchasing any clothing. Mounts are sort of out of reach for me, and all of the flash sales have been Mahra and Sepulchrum and stuff. So I got a little bit antsy, and I just said, okay, we're gonna live a little and reset this. But this gives me a chance to go ahead and show you all of this. So the short version for all the impatient people, because I've been told a million times that people don't want to sit through the whole videos, is basically you have an Odin, a very strong one. Mine's 510 KBR, so I put my best, I have good red gear in there, and then my best divinity souls. These are all level 11s. And I have all physical attack and whatever. And if I were to put these on my Frigga, they would be with magical attack. But yeah, so I have my best gear on there, and then, if my Odin does die, I will switch over to Frigga and put my best Divinity Souls there. But basically, Odin is the most helpful because he can attack and heal himself. So that has a really big advantage. I think that Blessed Electro is very helpful passive-wise. It can really help with a lot of just chance healing. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to use the chance-based stuff, but it is actually really helpful. I think even using Blessed Water is also a good bet. I just don't have Blessed Water on my Odin at the moment. But I might switch out one of these as the same thing out for Blessed Water. On my Frigga, I have Blessed Electro and Blessed Water, and this other passive that helps me have a chance to gain HP. So I know there are a lot of other useful things, but at least for me, I think these are really helpful in Time Portal, and actually in PvP they're pretty good. So that's what I went with. And then a very different story with Thor. Usually I wouldn't put Blessed Water and Blessed Electro on a Thor, but it's been very helpful in Time Portal. So I might change these later on, but back to some more offensive passives. But at least for right now, that's what I have. Now that we have our sylphs, in order to get that 400 points, you need to, one, be willing to refresh. So you want 400 bound Balins. I definitely would not use real Balins on this, but yeah, so 400 bound Balins. I do not think that that these bosses are feasible. I think A, maybe is possible with 3 strong sylphs, but I don't think you can manage much more than that, so I wouldn't bother with these. I think that in order to get the full 400 points, you're just going to have to refresh. I think the SSS boss is just, way out of reach. Even S is too difficult. But, when you refresh, you are not actually reviving your sylphs. So if your sylphs die and you refresh, you will not get them back. In order to get your sylphs back, you have to reset, and then you also reset your rewards from these chests and whatever it might be. So you definitely you don't want these sylphs to die before you refresh. So we're actually going to wait and not do Boss B. We do need to beat Boss B twice in order to get these 400 point rewards. But we're actually going to start with Boss C. And then Boss C we can beat, but we might be a bit low on health. Sometimes I'm close to full health, but other times I just lose quite a bit of health there. And then I go into Boss E and I recover my health because it's much easier for 500k BR Odin to be able to recover. Or I can use Boss D sometimes. Boss D is not that difficult either. So those are my options. I use these two to heal myself, and then this one's a bit more difficult, so I have to beat it. So I do that twice, so C, then E, C, then E, and then I beat up E and D completely. So basically I do all the attempts for E, D, and C, and then I refresh, And I do the same thing, except I leave, a couple attempts in E. I do like leave 2 attempts in E. Actually, you can leave 1 attempt in D because there's an extra 20 points there that you don't need to get the full rewards here. And then I attack B and hopefully beat it. But if I don't, I finish it up with Frigga. And then I recover with some health for Frigga, and then I go ahead and try and beat B again. Frigga definitely cannot beat B on her own, but these bosses do not gain their health back after you die, so you can go back in and I can finish it off with Thor that way. So that's the short version, and then now the rest of the video is just going to be proof of concept, proof of the fact that this works. So the rest is just a gameplay, and I hope you guys enjoy, or at least if you want to see this happen, here it is, and at the end, of course, I'll show the full rewards from this and all that. Alright, so I'm up to 360 points, so I don't need this last D boss, but I do need this this B boss, and for the most part I'm pretty sure I can get it with Frigga and Thor. I have had a scare before, but I've been able to manage it with these two selves, even without Odin. So let's go for it. You know, you did see the 400 bound Balin reset, so so I need that, but these bosses really are just not feasible for me. If you're somebody who has multiple Odins for whatever reason, that's fantastic. Odin is very helpful here. I should not have used this shield yet because this boss tends to do a deflect at some point, so it's nice to have some neutral skills. You know, you saw me with Odin against her, and I had to be a little bit careful. So I'm going to auto attack for now, and maybe heal now. But yeah, so this is painstakingly long. It is a bit of an effort, but it's definitely, by all means, a privilege to be able to get through all of it at this point, especially without a holy sword. You know, on the test server, I had not figured this out yet, and so I had this super strong sylph and was able to get through the whole thing because of that sylph. But in this case, I really don't think it's possible with just one. Well, it's possible if you do the refresh. You could get through with one Odin if you either luck out with the heals or whatever it might be, or just manage really well with one Odin. I don't know. It could be super strong or just everything crits well. But I'm in a bit of trouble here. Really, the Frigga, I don't have the right skills to really pack a punch with this sylph, and oh, I'm lucky there. I got when she does that really big Delphic skill, that's pretty good because usually it hits multiple times and I get a heal, but oof, that hurt. Oh, and she has a deflect on. Alright, I'm in a bit of trouble. A bit of trouble. Oh, and Blessed Water just worked. Alright, so some things working in my favor, other things not so much. Alright, please behave. Another Blessed Water would be nice, but no. Such luck. Alright, so we're gonna have to manage this with Thor. Thor, I have to be super, super careful about the deflect. It is no joke. Luckily, Thor hits super hard. So I'm gonna switch over my my Divinity Souls. I hate doing this, but alright, here we go. Alright, so I have my best set of Divinity Souls on my Thor, so up to 509k, but this is my my weakest of the skill, so I definitely don't want to press triple S. So let's see if we can beat this. I'm actually going to start out with this big Delphic, not necessarily a smart move, but I don't want that to get caught up in the deflect. Definitely do not want that. Alright, so Thor hits hard, but I still have to be careful. I'm very concerned about deflects. So I'm sort of seeing what happens with her first before casting, but that can always risk hitting late. But anyway, I had the bleed on from this skill, which can be very helpful, and we did beat her with that. Thor, I think, is actually really nice for this, especially for cleanup, but I think that Frigga is a safer choice, but Thor is actually quite good. Or better than I had thought it was going to be. So that's 400 out of 400 points. I don't need to beat this last boss over here. But yeah, so all the way up through here, 10 and 15, 10, 15. And then finally at 250 it goes up a bit. So all the way up to 400. So I'm just going to collect all. So yeah, full rewards are 237 Sylph Soul Orbs, it's 237 Polishing Orbs, and 162 Sylph Soul Orbs, so that's very, very nice. Obviously, more than most players are going to get out of this. For sure, for your cash players, which I think only cashers can have sylphs this nice at this point, unless you've really committed an enormous amount of bound balins as a free or low cash player into your sylphs. So yeah, I would definitely build up to the point where maybe you don't beat up to 400 points, but you can use this strategy of maybe starting with the D bosses and then healing with E. Well, I'm not sure. You need a pretty strong sylph in order to manage any of these, but something like that in order to kill enough bosses that you can get, optimal rewards. Some people find it better that they just start with a higher level boss like C or B in order to get these rewards here, but I mean, you have to sort of toy around with it to figure out what the best situation is for you. But yeah, definitely think carefully about this. Preferably, you kill a bunch of these, don't die. Refresh if you're willing to give up the bound balance, and then continue and do more with your sylphs. But again, the key part to this refresh, and you definitely don't want to spend bound balance on this if your sylphs are dead. If your sylphs are dead in the first go around, you just have to eat it and you have to reset. Preferably just do it over your free reset. If you're already dying that easily, you should not, be doing paid resets. But yeah, so that's the strategy to it. So basically, CE, all of these guys. Do that again, CE, C, and then all of these guys except for one of the D's and then a couple of the E's in order to leave yourself some healing room, and then start going after this B bosses. But I did not kill any of these B bosses the first time I went around. I didn't do that until I refreshed and had another set of these guys. So by all means, this is a cacher video or video for cachers, at least for now, until people get merged sylphs themselves, or fancy merged sylphs. But I think red gear is accessible to pretty much everybody at this point with the hot event exchanges and stuff, do a toll and stuff for the enchantments. But yeah, so it's a cacher strategy, and obviously it requires bound balance. But if you want to go ahead, you have a strong sylph, big Odin, and some sylphs that can manage, otherwise pretty strong. This is the way to do it without having to get into these bosses. So by all means, share if you have friends, or if you yourself can make use of this. Thanks for watching. I'll try and get some more guides out on helpful things for the patch 6.5 content. But thanks for watching, you guys. Take care and have a very good day.